Dimensional analysis or unit analysis is another way that you can convert units within the metric system. Now, it makes sense to some people, and so they are drawn to it, where other people have a more difficult time with that. So just remember, of the three methods that we've gone through in this unit, you're not required to know all of them. You're required to know how to use one of them. So you can pick the method that works for you and use that method. In this case, they want us to convert 12 kilometers to meters. Now with dimensional analysis, what we're going to do is we're going to take our kilometers and then we're going to go through a series of steps until we get rid of the kilometers and we get to the meters. So for this one, it's just one step. And what I do is I'm going to multiply by a fraction that will put meters in here. So I just take little facts that I know. And in this case, I know that there are 1,000 meters for every 1 kilometer. And then I just complete this multiplication. And what will happen to the kilometers is they'll cancel each other out. So I've got 12 times 1,000 divided by 1. So altogether I've got 12,000 meters in 12 kilometers. Now that one just had one step. So if you look at the next one, this can be a bit trickier because not only are we going from nanometers to meters, which will be moving left of the number line if you use that, we also have multiple conversions. So here's what I tried. Okay, 2,730 nanometers. I did this in a series of steps. The first step would be to get rid of nanometers and convert it to micrometers. So I know that 1 micrometer is equivalent to 1,000 nanometers. Now you can see already this is a little bit different than part A, where I was going from large unit to smaller units. My numbers were getting bigger, so the thousands were in the numerator. In this example, I'm going from nanometers, a very small unit of measure, to meters, which is much bigger. So my thousands are in the denominator, or in other words, I'm dividing out groups of 1,000. So I've now got it to, where am I now, micrometers. Now if I could get from micrometers to millimeters, that seemed like an obvious step for me. I know that in each millimeter, there is 1,000 micrometers. And then I did this once more to get to meters. In each meter, I know there is 1,000 millimeters. So you can sort of check your work as you go, because what should happen is that your units should cancel each other out once. So once in the numerator, once in the denominator, so that I'm only left with meters. And then you can just complete this. It's really saying 2,730 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 divided by 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000. What I got for that was, and I'm sure you're just going to put that in your calculator. You get 5 zeros here. 4, 5, 2, 7, 3. And if those of you who have done scientific notation may have left it in that, but I'm going to leave it as this decimal. And this makes sense. A few thousand nanometers should be a very small amount if I'm going to measure it in meters. So again, unit or dimensional analysis makes a lot of sense to some people, but not to others. And maybe perhaps it's better used in cases like A, where we just have one step to convert, and not like B, where I had 4 different steps. But again, it's up to you. You just have to learn one method and stick with that one method.